Oh my goodness, good morning everyone. It's dark o'clock. Oh, Lori Marie here. Mixed media artist in Vallejo, California. Still a little bit sleepy. We're going to have fun today. I am working on the cover of an altered book. You'll get a kick out of it. It's really a lot of fun. I ended up putting a Crackle finish on it. I made the video yesterday, just got up and checked out the book. It's amazing. No lips, no combed hair. I've had a little bit of coffee and I just can't wait to play with you guys. So, see you on the table. Let's talk about the supplies you're going to need for building the cover for your altered book. I have a map. I have an image that I printed out on my laser printer. It's a little bit large, so it's going to hang over, which I'm okay with that. I have an old book page, my book, of course, and a brown paper bag. Now this laser print image, what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare this for a transfer, which means I'm going to put a coat of Mod Podge on here and let it dry. Another coat of Mod Podge on here and let it dry. And then the third coat of Mod Podge on here and let it dry. So the next time you see this, this is going to have 3 layers of Mod Podge on it, which we will use for the transfer at the end of the book cover. Alright, my book covers are usually pretty torn up, so I'm going to use the strength of a brown paper bag to hold that in place. And the map I'll just tear up and have fun with that. So let me dismantle the brown paper bag a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the handles off, both sides, cut the bottom off, and then cut it up the seam. So I know that with this book I'll need probably about 12 inches of brown paper bag. So I just measured, let's just say that's about 5 inches, 6 inches, 12 inches. So just to give myself enough paper bag to play with, I just cut this about 14 inches wide. And then let's measure this. About 7.5 inches, so we will round it off to about 8. And then I'm going to cut it. So there again, I just roughly measured the book around its front spine area and back. Came up with an approximate number, gave myself a little bit more to play with, measured the book from top to bottom, gave myself a little bit to play with, and then I've cut this out. And that is going to be just fine. Look at there. Plenty of overlap. So I've laid my book down. I know it's kind of in a shadow there. Laid my book down, back page on the brown paper bag, and then I'm going to bring this up just for durability. And just really massage that into place. I'll put some Mod Podge just on that edge so that it bonds nicely. Then I'm going to turn it over and massage it. Massage. Do I care if there's wrinkles? I embrace the wrinkles. We call it texture. Brown paper bags are so nice and strong. So I'm going to continue that on around the book. I will do the spine area next and really push it in. I have a little bit of cloth here that's going to stand on the way, so let's get rid of that. I'm going to put Mod Podge here and Mod Podge here to make sure that I really get it stuck in that spine area. Just working a small section at a time rather than having it all full of glue and not being able to manipulate it very well. So Mod Podge there, Mod Podge here, and then I am going to press it in place. There we go. And really take your time with the spine. Make sure that it's really glued down nicely. Take your time, rub it down. When you feel like you've got the spine stuck in there fairly well, then go ahead and glue down the front of the book. I'm going to go ahead and put the Mod Podge on here. It's more level. My poor books. Bring it over, stick it down real well. And we're going to let that, well, I'm going to flip it over onto the inside here. And then we'll let it dry. I don't want to cover up that whole page because it's pretty yummy. It's got some dates on it. November 25th, 1937. Who would want to cover that up? So let's just cut this edge. My usual straight fashion. Ha! And Mod Podge this flap onto the book. So here it is with the front covered, the spine covered nicely, and the back covered nicely. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit on it. I'm going to put it under my bum, make sure that it's got some nice heavy pressure on it. So while I am sitting on my book and keeping that nice and tight to the cover, I am taking my laser print. It already has one coat of Mod Podge on it. This is the second one. Don't you love it that you have like two desks to work on and then you end up in a itty-bitty space like this to work? Everything keeps coming in closer and closer and closer. At least at my house they do. I don't know. All right, so this is the second coat. Got a little goober there. And I have a heat vent by my feet in my studio, so I just put this by that. So I'll put that by the heat vent. We have Plan B happening. Ooh, I found this. Isn't that fun? So I have some polka dot paper. It's just scrapbook paper. And a piece of the map. And I'm going to grab the book and let's see what's next. All right, I'm going to start gluing the map on the back. And go ahead and bring it around there and glue it nice and tight. My map is actually some scraps of a map. And so it's got that piece missing there, which I don't care because I'm going to use the scrapbook paper there. All right, so I'm going to start on the back. Just put some Mod Podge here. And fold that page over. There I have that nice and tightly glued down there. Flapped it over. I'm going to continue on the little spine area. All of this just reinforces our book even more, which these altered books could use all the reinforcement they can get their hands on. Take that over just a little bit. And then work that up. And just like last time, just really take your time. Push that map into place. Brown paper bags are magic. Can you see how stuck that is? That is nice and stuck. That's not going to go anyplace. All right, I'm going to put Mod Podge here. Seal that down. Cup it around the edge. And then we'll move forward. I am now putting the third layer of Mod Podge onto that laser image. I swear that heater vent by my feet, magic! Dries everything so quickly. Now we're going to put the scrapbook paper on the book. Alright, so when I take this scrapbook paper and I put it on the book, it is far too tall. I want more map to be visible. Something more like that. I do want the white edge. I like the contrast of the white edge on the book. Actually, I think I'm going to sit on that. Alright, so I want the white edge. So in order to get the white edge, I will tear the excess piece toward me. Do we have you on screen? Can you see how the white edge is materializing? And that's what I want to see. This side does not have the white edge. The piece that I'm tearing toward me does not have the white edge. The piece I left behind has the white edge. Alright, back from my bum. Let's see if that's a better size. Sure it will be. All these dingle dangles from my book. Oh, that's much better. Much better. So I'm going to put some Mod Podge on the front of the book and stick that scrapbook paper down and then work it around. It's not going to go all the way around to the back cover. That's okay. That's okay. I may put the old book page there. In fact, let's do that. Let's put an old book page there. So if you want a straight line, what do? If you want to tear a straight line, oh my goodness, all these tricks that we're talking about today. Look at there. Nice straight line. I don't want a straight line here though. There we go. And I'm just getting rid of that white edge. Not very attractive. There we go. So let's see. That's going to go there. I'm going to glue this. Then I'm going to glue my scrapbook paper in place. And we're going to see what we've got. Alright, my transfer, which is a laser printed, I just chose a vintage car, and it's laser printed just on printer paper with 3 layers of Mod Podge on it, and it changes it into like a leathery feel. Very cool. This is what I'm going to put on the front of my book. So I'm going to grab my book. Like I say, this is going to hang over some, and I'm okay with that. Kind of wrap it around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Mod Podge on here, then I'm going to put my image down, and I'm going to grab my squeegee, and I'm really going to massage this down. You do not want to, let me repeat, you do not want to put Mod Podge on the back of your printer paper, okay, because we are going to be peeling that off. I had to find my squeegee. All right. Is your work area starting to look like my work area? Nice and crowded. going to put a nice layer of Mod Podge on the front of my book. Let's just make sure it's the front. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't surprise me. Nice layer of Mod Podge on the front of the book. And we know that it's going to go around the edge a little bit, so we're going to do that. Take the image of my car, lay it down. And squeegee. You will get some excess glue coming off. Being careful not to get the Mod Podge on the back of the printer paper. And work it down the best you can. So let's start seeing if we can. So it's been a couple of hours. Let's see, it's 3:30 now. I left about 1 o'clock, so 2.5 hours. I'm sure it's dry enough, right? So we'll just get the paper wet and then we'll start rolling the paper off. And then the image will be stuck. With any luck, the image will be stuck to the to the scrapbooking paper. Looks like it is. All right, so this layer comes off pretty easily. As you can see, it rolls right off. And there is still a lot of paper on there. If it looks cloudy like that, there is still paper on there. And you can get it pretty gosh darn smooth. You will get the feel of it. I've done this so many times that I can pick it up with my fingers where there's still some paper. Look at there. It's coming off nicely. So I'm just going to work at this. You certainly don't have to watch that. You'll be napping. You'll be snoring. So, all right, let me roll the paper off. All right, here is the transfer with all of the paper taken off. I took it off the spine. Looks pretty clear. Little foggy spot there. I can rub that paper off. Rub that paper off. Can you see those little bits of paper coming off? Not very much. Did a really good job. Feels nice and smooth. All right, we are going to look at this piece. And what I see is a yummy yellow background here that peaks up here, and then it goes into the green. And so my eye says that this needs to be softened a little bit. I know we're going to take the Stabilo in, but I'm going to take the Vintage Photo Distress Ink by Tim Holtz, and I'm just going to go in here, and then I'm going to just blend it with my fingers. Very nice. And that just brings the two pieces together a little bit better. Distressing that edge, and I will do that on the spine. And I will also do that on the back. Nice. Very, very nice. So you can see the transformation that happens with that ink. Bringing it all together. And then of course our Stabilo. And I'm just going to go around the edge a little bit more with that Stabilo, a little bit of moisture on my finger. Go around all the edges, go around that division here, it's there, you might as well accentuate it, okay? All right, let me finish this. There it is, all grungy with the Distress ink and with the Stabilo around the edges and on the spine and on the back. It's a beautiful book. So I'm going to finish it with a Crackle glaze, one-step Crackle. And I'm just going to put it on the front. And I'm just going to paint that on, and then we will leave it alone to crackle. So this won't be really ready until tomorrow. So we'll let it dry tonight, and I will show you the finished altered book front. And Lynn, thank you so much for asking me how this was done. I had much fun doing this with you, playing on the table. I'm so grateful to have all of you here. So of course the book wants to lean, it wants to lean, which would let this stuff allow this stuff to roll off, which is not what I'm after. So I've hoisted it up a little bit just with that Distress ink to keep it kind of flat. There we go. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, gang, good morning. It's dark o'clock here in Vallejo, California, and I could not wait to get in to see this book. Can you see how amazing it is? Oh my goodness, look at the crackle on there. Oh my goodness. It's amazing. Oh my goodness. So I know there's a glare here from my light, but it's pretty dark out. So I just I just crawled out of bed, came in here, took a peek. It's amazing. So go create, go play, go have fun. Subscribe if you haven't. We have some great ideas coming. We've had some great ideas on the videos. I have lots and lots of fun, but I couldn't do it without your support. So thanks so much for being there. Thanks so much for playing on my table with me.